I was just looking at the Steelers training camp schedule, Dorin, and we've had 10 practices. 10.
Crazy.
There's only 7 left.
It goes so fast.
Come on, Justin Fields, or excuse me, come on, Russell Wilson, get healthy, get out there.
I'm telling you, he does. It's.
I know.
You don't need it.
I know, but you kind of need it. Like, you don't not need it.
The things that he's doing is enough. Right now. I think that if he, an individual 7-on-7, those things, I think that he needs to get the timing down, but everything else, I think that you can be cautious with them.
So they're off today.
Mm-hmm.
They'll practice Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, game on Friday. After the game, only 3 preseason practices left, or training camp practices. I mean, they'll still fall into a practice schedule. They'll do it at the UPMC Rooney Sports Complex. So just because we can't go and watch doesn't mean that they're not going to get a ton of work done between August 14th and the start of the regular season. I'm just saying, it's kind of nuts that we've had 10 preseason practices and Russell Wilson's done like jack crap. And he's got less time now on the back end than the front end. Hey, maybe it keeps him healthy the rest of the season.
Right.
As you try to find a silver lining here. The other silver lining is that Justin Fields is getting a lot of work and is opening eyes and impressing even Mike Tomlin, as we played in the last segment, who said he is surprised just how athletic Justin Fields is. Now, when we talked about that, we were blown up on the text line, Dorin, which is brought to you by Edgar Snyder and Associates, a personal injury law firm where they always say there's never a fee unless we get money for you. I said the ceiling higher with Justin Fields because of his talent, because of his age. Russell Wilson should be able to be good, but he's not in the prime of his career. And I think the floor is higher, but I think the ceiling is not quite as high. Got blown up. Justin Fields stinks. He's played 3 years in the league. He's a turnover machine. I mean, Baker Mayfield left and got better. Geno Smith left, and it took a long time, but he's a good quarterback now. I think about Tua. He didn't figure it out his first or second year. No, he got help, Tyreek Hill. That's going to be good in the scheme and the running attack, but you feel like you've got a good offensive scheme in place now. Just because a guy hasn't been great, and he's done some great things,
right?
But just because a guy hasn't been great for 3 years doesn't mean he can't when you land in the right situation. And a lot of the people that want to crap on Justin Fields are the ones that were taking up for Kenny Pickett, because for a long time this offseason it was, would you rather have Kenny or would you rather have Justin Fields? And all these people argued, well, now it's the 3rd year for Kenny, and it's a new offensive system and a different offensive line, and blah, 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 blah. If you could argue out of one side of your mouth Kenny could get better, then why can't the guy who's got a significantly higher ceiling than Kenny Pickett?
Yeah, it's all situation, too. I mean, there's so many guys. I mean, we don't even have to talk quarterback. I mean, there's so many guys that go to a different situation that fits them very well. I mean, Wes Welker was an undrafted guy and was a backup punt returner in Miami, gets released, and then goes to New England, and then, is a potential Hall of Famer. Like, It can happen a lot. I mean, what Justin Fields was working with, maybe they weren't getting the most out of him. And it's tough to go to a team whenever you're a top 10 pick and to revitalize that team. I mean, look at Trevor Lawrence right now. Like, it's tough because the reason why they were picked high is because the team stinks. So you're going to have to deal with that at least for a couple years. I mean, Caleb Williams might have to deal with that. Now, they're a better team now than they were before. But as a young quarterback, it is hard to go out there and win with a team that if you were a top pick in the draft.
Yeah, and you can make absolutely the argument that Justin Fields was in a way worse situation than Kenny Pickett was.
Yes.
And that, look, Matt,
yes.
Perhaps scheme aside, although a lot of folks I saw that are Bears fans were responding on social media to Mike Tomlin talking about not trying to squash the talents of Justin Fields by saying that's all they tried to do in Chicago the last few years. Keep him in the pocket. Don't let him use his natural God-given ability. So they had that going there as well. Not great scheme, just like here in Pittsburgh. But I think the players here were better.
Mm-hmm.
The organization is better.
Mm-hmm.
And Kenny failed with that, whereas Justin Fields failed there. So why can't he get better?
For sure.
I like him what Caleb Williams is walking into. Just an aside, to what Joe Burrow walked into a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Bad team, good skill position guys.
Mm-hmm.
So he actually should have a chance to succeed, I think. And if he doesn't, a lot of that will have to be on him.
Yes.
Do you hear what happened with Kenny this weekend?
No.
Reports out of Philadelphia, Dorin, that Tanner McKee is now getting the second team reps ahead of Kenny Pickett. That Kenny was good in minicamp and OTAs, has not been good in training camp, and Tanner McKee is getting second team reps over Kenneth. So I'm not sure that there's an aptitude to even talk about Kenny Pickett, but just thought that I would throw that out there.
Interesting.
Yeah. I am rooting for Kenny.
Me too.
I am rooting for Kenny Pickett. I hope he beats out Tanner McKee and gets an opportunity at some point to shine this year and see if good things could happen for him.